This video is sponsored by Card Kingdom. If you click on the link in the description below, it'll take you to their store and they'll know I sent you there. Okay, wow, this is an interesting pack. A very nice one. So, cards that you end up first picking pretty often in this format are Doomblade, Gnarled Professor, Kelpie Guide, Combat Professor, Necrotic Fumes to a lesser extent. Doomblade's great. Kills almost everything with no questions asked. Gnarled Professor is also quite good. ETB Learn on a great body is very good. Kelpie Guide's a good ramp card that also has some other uses. And Combat Professor is really good in, aggressive decks, especially aggro decks. I think we're going to take Doomblade in the end. I do think it's, Gnarled Professor is a nice value card, but it doesn't really... It's not like a scary threat, and I think I'd rather just take the Doomblade here. Back-to-back really good removal spells? I think that's probably what we do, yeah. Eye Twitch is good, but, we could have had two pretty good learn cards to start out with, but I think we take Vanishing Verse here and see if we end up in black-white. It kills, there's a lot it doesn't kill, but it kills most things in this format still, or many things, maybe not most things, but enough that it's still quite good, overall. Okay, here I think we grab Combat Professor. I like it a lot more than the Orator. It'd be sweet if that other one wheels. It's a great common. I think it's White's best common in this format. Really, it's just the Orator and Combat Professor that I'm, interested in this pack. Biomathematician's not bad either. So black-white most frequently is like an aggro deck, and I've found it can be pretty good. I mean, I've only drafted it once, but I've played against it a lot. And it definitely is a good sort of deck to punish the slower ones. Now, granted, we may not end up straight up an aggro deck. I mean, starting with 2 premium removal spells, might push us in a slightly different direction, but we'll see. All right, well, I think we take another Combat Professor. It's just great. It's kind of crazy how good this is. It could have been uncommon and it wouldn't be surprising because it comes down, has an immediate impact on the board because if you play it before combat, you immediately get +1/+0 in Vigilance on one of your creatures that turn. Then, in the later part of the game, it can move around the +1/+0 in Vigilance in addition to just being able to be a 4-mana 3/3 flying Vigilance. It's just really good. Especially if you can curve out ahead of it. I think the question Combat Professor is asking is pretty funny and reflective of what it's like being a professor sometimes, where you're expect your students to have done the reading, but then they haven't. That's what Combat Professor is experiencing with his flavor text. I feel you, man. I feel you. Yeah, it is funny that it's a burden professor for me, for sure. For sure. I like it. Good start. This pack has taken a while, huh? It's kind of weird. How have we not... are we disconnecting or is something bad happening here? Okay, nothing bad's happening, so that's good. That's a good sign. Okay. So this pack doesn't have anything great for, amazing for red-white. Might just take Fixing. Ephemerate is hard to make work. You need the right composition. Star Pupil's not bad. If we end up in a legit aggro deck, it's fine. But I think Fixing might be a little more valuable in this particular pack for us because it's just not a good one for us. Crushing Disappointment's not that great. Star Pupil's not that great. It worries me a little bit that we're seeing so little in terms of black-white in this pack, but I'm hoping it's just sort of how the pack shook out and not a sign that the good stuff is all being taken. Okay. All right. So this looks a little better. Divine Gambit, underrated card. It is a little better than it looks. I think Spirit Summoning is a nice lesson. May just take the Shield Mage. Yeah, I think that's where I'm going to go. Shield Mage is a pretty nice little card for aggressive decks. Elocution is not bad, but you have to go pretty wide. If we already had some Learn, I would probably take the Spirit Summoning, but we don't. I think the fixing is good enough in this set to splash, but going harder than just a splash is usually not a good call. So here's another Star Pupil. There's also a Rise of Exodus, which is definitely more of a control-y card, but I'm kind of tempted to take it here over Star Pupil. I think I will. With the amount of removal we have, we could end up being black-white control, which isn't exactly what the deck wants you to do, but I think this has proven to be good enough that I want to take it over Star Pupil. Or Expanded Anatomy, for that matter. It turns out it's just like kill a creature, draw a card most of the time, and that's pretty good. Okay, so Luminancer is definitely all about us being aggressive, and it's probably what I'm going to take here. It may not make the cut, but it's better than the other options we've got in this pack. I mean, Beaming Defiance isn't bad either. We would need a lot of spells to really fuel the Luminancer, but I think that's doable. Yeah, let's take the Luminancer here. But yeah, fixing's good enough to splash. Going like full on 3 colors is very difficult. If you end up in blue-red, it's a little more doable, but All right, this is a great lesson to have wheeled for us, and it's definitely what we take. Rise of Exodus, get another removal spell, seems pretty sweet, right? Thank you for the resub, Tuna. I also thank you for the follow, Vidar and Kangio Frank. But yeah, we're going to take Necrotic Fumes here pretty happily. I think it's one of the better lessons, especially if you're in black, and it looks like we are. Especially if it's wheeling, I think that bodes well for black. So yeah, black-white is interesting because it pulls you in more directions than most of the other color pairs. I think Study Break, I think all these cards with Learn are basically playable. It's kind of like cycling in Ikoria. Like all these cards that normally wouldn't be that good are because of Learn. But yeah, you get pulled in like sort of a flying direction, a +1/+1 counter direction, and like a trick direction with Silver Quill. Plus, you have access to really good removal, so you can also kind of be a control deck. It seems in some ways a little less focused than the other color pairs, but for the most part, what it wants to be doing is kind of aggressive. So, okay, so Pigment Storm's definitely the best card here. We'll grab it. Maybe we end up in red. Who knows? I mean, I think I would play Rise of Exodus, even if we do end up in a more aggressive deck. Like, having one Rise of Exodus in your deck is probably not a bad plan, So. Red-blue does look pretty open. Like, Prismari Pledge Mage is quite good. So, like, both of these, all 3 of these are nice, but these 2 are especially good in Prismari decks. Let's grab the Pledge Mage, I guess. I'm a little worried that Black-White has dried up significantly. Okay, so grab Lowerhold Apprentice. Red-White looks like a real possibility. We would lose, we'd probably try to splash some of our removal. We do already have a Commons. But, Red-White wouldn't be too bad. We'd still get to hold on to the 2 Combat Professors, for example, and then we'd put in, like, the Apprentice and Pigment Storm. All right, we'll take Divine Gambit here. Would I rather have Make Your Mark? No, I don't think so. I guess we already have enough removal. Maybe I don't want Divine Gambit, but it is a reasonable... If you're not an aggro deck, Divine Gambit tends to be a pretty good removal spell. Not a great one, but a solid one. Okay, so another Gnarled Professor. Man, oh man. That makes me wish I'd just taken the first one. Compulsive Research is nice, too. So we'd have Quintorius here. It doesn't really combo that well with anything we're doing at this point. Rise of Extus can make him make a 3-2, I guess. I do like Lorehold Pledge Mage if we end up in a more aggressive deck. Spiteful Squad's not bad either. There's also Pest Summoning, which I don't mind. I think I'm going to take the Pledge Mage, and I think we're going to sort of push in a like prowessy aggro deck direction. See if that happens for us anyway. Okay, so there's a Conspiracy Theorist here, which is a little bit tempting, but I don't think it's going to get me. I don't think it's enough for me to be swayed. I think I'm probably going to grab Lash of Malice. Works well with like Pledge Mage and Luminancer and stuff, and it's just a good removal spell. So, and it's a cheap spell. Ooh. So 2 Quintoriuses would have been nice, huh? We take the Elite Spellbinder for sure. It's a nice little card. It's aggressive. It has the ability to disrupt the opponent. I like it for this deck a lot. It's also got Flying, which our deck has a fair bit of at this point. Okay, so here we have Dueling Coach. We also have Inkling Summoning. Both of those are pretty nice. Also a Shock. Inkling Summoning is a pretty good lesson. We do only have 1 card with Learn right now. Oh, wait, do we have 2? Yeah, we have 2. One of them's expensive, but I think we probably take Dueling Coach here, though. I think it'll work out well enough in this deck. Right now, we don't have any other counters, but it's kind of hard not to end up with a few of them. Okay, so we have a ton of removal. I'm not sure we need something like Mage Hunter's Onslaught more than we want like an Inkling Summoning or a Brackish Trudge or even Fixing. I'm probably going to grab Inkling Summoning over the Trudge. We're not really, you know, this is more for black-green. We're going to grab the Inkling Summoning. It's a great lesson. It's one of the, you know, all the ones that make creatures are pretty nice, but that one is perhaps the best of the bunch. So how many spells do we need for Clever Luminancer to be worth it? I would say at least 10 cheap ones. So it may not be able to make it, since we're a little more mid-rangey than most black-white decks, I feel like, are. Hello, Alley Fox. I've liked Strixhaven. It's fun so far. I wish people were drafting a little faster, but you know. Okay, so we do have an Environmental Sciences here, which is pretty good in terms of, you know, gives us Fixing. It's a good thing to learn about, I guess maybe is a better way of putting it. We also have another Shield Mage, though, and I kind of like those as top curve threats, especially for an aggro deck that sort of curves out, and then you play these late and your opponent just can't afford to, you know, killing it is very painful for them. Yeah, I think I'm going to take another Shield Mage here over another Environmental Science. I may end up regretting some of this, but, you know. Okay, this pack, it has a lot of stuff I wouldn't mind having. Introduction to Annihilation is a good lesson. Stonerise Spirit's not a bad 2-drop. Guiding Voice, another really good Learn card. I think I'm going to go for the Learn card here. Mage Hunter, also no joke, but I like that this does something with counters. I like that it learns. I think all of that tends to feel really good in this format. Like, all these cards with Learn feel way better than they look. It's also another cheap spell for, like, Luminancer and friends. There's another Luminancer. I don't think I want it. Man, this is another pack that has a lot of nice stuff, though. Zephyr Boots is pretty good. We already have a lot of flying, so I'm not sure it's great in our deck. But there's also another Lash of Malice, and there's another Inkling Summoning. And, not to mention, Stonerise Spirit. I think I'm going to grab another Lash. It's played pretty well in this format, and if we're really an aggro deck, with prowessy triggers. I think Lash of Malice looks pretty good. I would consider summoning if I already had more Learn, but because I don't, I think another Lash is pretty good. Okay. Team Pennant, huh? I mean, it's not bad. There's Professor's Warning. This has some nice flexibility to it, but I kind of think I'm going to take Stonerise Spirit. If we're going to be aggressive, we need some more early drops, and it's not a bad one. It has late game viability too, so... Not sure we play Divine Gambit in the end here. I mean, we spent a second to last pick on it, so I don't think we missed out on anything, but... We have enough removal that's way better than it that I don't think we need to run it. Yeah. All right, here we'll grab a Star Pupil, speaking of low drops. So we have picked up a couple more +1/+1 counter things, so that's good. We wouldn't mind the +1/+1 counter lesson. All right, Beaming Defiance isn't bad if we're an aggro deck, like... And I think, you know, again, I think we play Rise of Exodus even if we're an aggro deck, but our deck is mostly going to be aggressive the way it's panning out. Like, you know, all this stuff definitely has us pointing in that direction. Even with really good removal, we've got early drops that we want to really threaten people with. And lots of cheap removal. You know, cheap removal is really what aggro decks love cheap removal. So, and that is mostly what we have, apart from, you know, these guys. Ooh, that's a nice late Inkling summoning. You can even consider playing Inkling summoning, like, in the main deck. Like, I think it's that good. It triggers stuff. And a 3-mana 2/1 flyer. Not too bad. Now, I think ideally, we probably want one more card with Learn, at least. Ooh, man, okay. I think I take Spiteful Squad here over Silverquill Campus. I think it's good enough. It's another +1/+1 counter thingamajig, so a little bit of synergy. Take another study break. We may not want to play 2 of them, but we might, I guess. Okay, so... Can't play either half of that very easily, even though I would like to. So what we're looking at here, I think, it's maybe even Heated Debate and splashing it. Because this pack is not great for us, but I guess we have enough removal. We probably don't need something like Heated Debate. So... Yeah, this pack's just not great for us. We have Elocution and Revitalize, and that's basically it. Pest Summoning for the sideboard. Cram Session's not completely unplayable. I think we'll take the Elocution. I don't love this kind of card, but it could end up working out in this deck. Okay, so this is a pretty strong pack overall. My goodness. So... Eye Twitch, Humiliate, Hunt for Specimens, Introduction to Annihilation. Those are all things I want. Even Eager First Year. Like, this card turns out to be really good as far as lessons go. I kind of think Eye Twitch might be better. And as much as I like Humiliate, yeah, I think we want Eye Twitch a little more. So, how's our mana looking? Is our mana going to be good enough to, like, ever cast this? That's the question. There's a good lesson here for us. Quadruple white is challenging, and if I had more dual lands, I think I would be all over Devastating Mastery. And maybe I still should be. It's powerful enough. Yeah, I think we'll take it. If we don't end up with good enough mana, we may have to cut it, but I think the upside is enough that I'm down with it. Okay. Yeah, let's grab Silverquill Apprentice. Nothing special, but it's fine for our deck. Don't really want more of these at this point. for now, I do think I'll put the Mastery over there, but I think the upside's worth it, even if we're probably only like 10% on playing it. Yeah. Okay. I like Agonizing Remorse as far as discard spells go. Fracture doesn't really do enough. Environmental Sciences will make our mana significantly better. I think it's probably just what I'm going to take here. Yeah. I don't know. The more I look, I think maybe we end up cutting Rise of Extus in the end, even as nice as it is late. It just doesn't really feel like it fits in this deck overall. Okay, so Reduced to Memory is pretty good as far as lessons go. Don't hate Spirit Summoning, but it's probably just the Orator. Like, we have a 1-mana 1/1 flyer that can make things interesting, and we have several other flyers. Yeah, I think we probably just go with the Orator. He's a nice little 2-drop. And while these lessons are good, we are kind of okay on lessons as it is. So, yeah, I don't think we're going to end up playing Rise of Extus. We just won't need to. Defiant Strike's not a bad trick, but it's not a great one. I kind of think the Rescuer is just going to be better. There are enough things for us to bring back with it. Okay, so don't love Expel in a world where we have better removal. I'd probably just grab another 2-drop in Eager First Year. Right now, it doesn't look to me like we're playing our Wrath, but I think that's okay. Yeah, maybe should we have gone mono white for our Wrath? Huh. We also aren't going to play the commons if we're a straight up 2-color deck. And it does look like that's where we are, so. The commons is a little too bad. It's also not great in aggro decks in general, but. Yeah, Poets would have been nice. You're not wrong there. I mean, I guess Cram Session's more likely to make our deck than, like, Lorehold Campus is. Yeah, we don't have any reason to splash red, so we'll just grab Cram Session here. We did it up with a decent number of creatures, which is good. Okay, so do we want another lesson? We don't have an Intro to Annihilation, right? No. Do we want another lesson or another trick? I kind of think trick, honestly. I think we have enough removal, as I've been saying, that we don't desperately need a lesson removal spell. Okay, we'll grab Defend the Campus. Nice 3-3 deck. Yeah. It definitely... That's not a terrible late pickup. I kind of doubt it makes it, but... It's definitely not... It doesn't feel incredible, but... I think it feels pretty nice overall. Are we in the market for Spiteful Squad? Too bad this isn't a lesson, huh? That would be awesome. Okay. I kind of doubt we want Spiteful Squad. It's just not an aggressive card, and our deck is basically an aggro deck. I'm also not sure we need something like the Elocution. I'm not sure we're so good at going wide, and we're really not that good at going wide. I don't think we're good enough for Elocution to make sense. And we probably only want 2 Shield Mages. Then the question is whether we want to cut one of our Study Breaks. I think that's sort of the next thing to look at. The other question is, do we have enough counters for Star Pupil to be worth it? I don't know that we do. We have Guiding Voice and Dueling Coach, and that's pretty much it. We didn't even get the lesson No, we didn't even get the +1/+1 counter lesson, so we probably don't want Star Pupil in this deck. I think the Luminancer will be okay. It's not going to be excellent, but I think it'll be fine. I think we have enough cheap spells to really make it pretty good. And then we have decent enough top curve. So yeah, I think this deck looks alright. I don't think it's incredible, but I think we'll be able to run over some people who are dirtling around, which is kind of the goal with this kind of deck. Thank you for the follow, Thaco. Alright, this looks pretty good. It does suck that we didn't get one of our early drops, but, you know, we have a bunch of removal, and an early Elite Spellbinder is pretty nice at disrupting opponents. So, yeah. Hi, Strangelove. Glad you enjoy the YouTube content. I'd probably play the Spellbinder on turn 3 here. So, I think we just go ahead and Lash of Malice this. Yeah, we'll play Spellbinder here so we can get all the information we want. I mean, we could play Pledge Mage, but I think we'd rather play the Spellbinder. Oh my god. Okay. So, I think we go for Tanazir Quandrix. You know, they have Mage Duel, but we can survive Mage Duel thanks to our Doomblade. Yeah, so let's hit Quandrix there. So, because we know what they want to do is Mage Duel, I think we just leave mana up for Duel, Doomblade. Yeah. So, yeah. So, let's hope they try to Mage Duel here. Thank you for the follow, Punter99X. I'm a punter, too. Alright, so yeah, we go... Let's hope they don't have another one, huh? We go Doomblade. Get a sweet little 2-for-1 there. Take 1. Okay. So we definitely play our Combat Professor here. So they could Ether Helix here, but I'll just get to replay my Spellbinder, so it's not really a disaster. Good thing they can only get permanents back, huh? Okay. So, yeah, we play our Combat Professor. So, seems like Study Break on their turn is going to be pretty gross. At the end of their turn, I mean. Alright, so yeah, we go Study Break, tap, tap. Do we just pressure them with Inkling Summoning, or do we grab removal for if something goes sideways here? I think we just pressure them. Another flyer. Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, so let's Guiding Voice. I think I'm going to put the counter here. And this time I think we want to grab Necrotic Fumes just in case. Then we're going to go to combat. Okay. So, the sort of aggro plan worked out there. You know, playing the you know, Paulo Vitor Dama de Rosa card definitely got us there when we played it on turn 3. And then we got that Combat Professor, and the two just teamed up and went to town. Yep, this is nice. We can go 1-drop, 2-drop, Guiding Voice, something. You know, it's unfortunate with the number of flyers we got that we did not get the Silver Quill thing that pays you off for when your flyers die. That would have been pretty nice. Alright. A 2-for-1 to start the game seems pretty good to me. I'm gonna grab an Inkling Summoning. So let's play Stonerise Spirit here. Yeah, the Professor is a very nice card. That was a pretty darn good draw because I don't really want that Spectacle Mage to live. So I'm not going to let it. So the question is whether I just want to attack and then maybe use Beaming Defiance. I think that probably is better. But, yeah. That lets me hold on to my Lash. Yeah, let's attack. Yeah, I mean, kind of figured that's where that was going to go, but... So I think we go ahead and Guiding Voice here, too. Yeah. We do miss out on one damage there, but I think I can live with that. I just want another Inkling Summoning. Yeah, probably. Oh, hello, Combat Professor. Opponent could have what am I trying to say? Counter magic here, but let's find out. Well, they didn't have counter magic. Nice. Pack one, pick one was Doomblade. Okay, so I think we just go to combat here and plan on using Beaming Defiance if we need to. You know, I think it's ended up being Prismari so far, but to be fair, before this deck, Prismari's the only one I drafted more than once. I guess I drafted Quandrix earlier today, that's not true. But Prismari has probably been my favorite so far, regardless. So if they try to use removal here, okay, they don't. I am a little worried they could have a board wipe of some kind. But I guess I can clean things up in the aftermath with other stuff. Yeah, so we're just going to Inkling Summoning here. Okay, well that was their plan all along. Draw a bunch of cards. It's a good plan. It's just for this set, Tuna. In a really technical sense, when we call other color, when we always refer to like red-white as Boros, it's flavorfully not accurate. Because the Plane of Ravnica is the only place where it's called Boros, you know what I mean? So, but, you know, it is shorthand, and, you know, yeah. Alright, so let's go to combat here. So let's see. Because I have Beaming Defiance, I'm not really alarmed by the potential of a board wipe. Oh, it only gives hexproof. I probably should be alarmed, huh? Alright, I think we go for it with the summoning. And then end our turn. Alright, I mean, that's kind of what we want this deck to do, is run over those kinds of decks. But, you know, it is shorthand for just because it's easier than saying, you know, red-white, etc. Okay. Oh, yeah, sorry for not answering your question, Ali Fox. Looks like somebody else got you, though. MTG LaSalle. Thanks for answering the question. I failed to. Alright, pretty good. Yeah, let's lead with Silver Quill Apprentice. Okay, all the cheap spells ever. Alright, so let's play Eager First Year here. So next turn, if we play like Lash of Malice to kill something, it's going to feel pretty good. Well, now it's going to feel less good thanks to that Lightning Bolt. Okay, so yeah. Let's Lash of Malice, and then I think we Guiding Voice for the Land Searcher, because we could use more mana. Yeah, get our environmental sciences going. Alright, so we're going to cast Environmental Sciences, and I think we get a Swamp so we can play Eye Twitch. Right, so before we attack, we may as well Spellbind them. Serpentine Curve, Spectacle Mage. I think we're more worried about the Mage. Yeah, flying after all. They can, of course, cast it, but they have to pay a ton of mana to do it. So, I say let them. So we're just going to attack for one here. Yeah, just for one. Yeah, so they pay 5 for a Spectacle Mage there. I think that works for me. So I think we probably Study Break here. It does mean we can't play anything else, but I think the damage we do is significant enough that it's what I'm going to do. And I'd probably grab Necrotic Fumes just to have some insurance here. Attack them for 8. Yeah, that's gross. That was gross. Felt like we were in pretty good shape, but didn't last long, that feeling. Okay, so I think I played Dueling Coach and put a counter on Eager First Year. Yeah. They have to double block the first year. I guess I could wait a turn, and then the ability is a little more impactful, but I think forcing or offering a double block here is fine. Ooh. Yeah, our opponent's interaction right now is doing us in. Okay, that's a pretty good draw. Yeah. So we're gonna Lash of Malice the Spectacle Mage here. So I could Necrotic Fumes. Unfortunately, it exiles instead of sacrificing, so I wouldn't get to learn. So I think we should just attack with Eye Twitch here. And then play Stonerise Spirit. Increasing our clock in the air. Unfortunately, we know we're going to draw Eager First Year here. Yeah, that's pretty gross. That Retriever Phoenix has been real bad. I can exile it now, which might just be worth it. It probably is. Okay. I don't think they had to scoop there. Like, we weren't in such good shape that we're gonna win. I mean, exiling the Phoenix was a big deal, but not like scoop there a big deal. But I'll take it. Hi, Fuzznuts. Glad you made it to the stream. Yeah, I don't think I would have scooped there. Sure, you lose your Phoenix, but they had a better board state than we do. Granted, we had more stuff in our hand, but their board state was definitely better than ours. Thank you for the follow, Allegris. Okay, this is a pretty good hand. Turn 2 First Year, turn 3 Pledge Mage, turn 4... Like, if we can just curve out with all of these and nothing interferes with it, we probably win. Especially if there's a spell in there somewhere. Yeah, one thing that I think makes these Silver Quill decks potentially good is not only that many people are dirtling a lot, but also that you can just curve out with a bunch of commons, and it sometimes overwhelms people. And these are literally all common cards, but they're all, they can do significant damage in a hurry. Oh, okay. Well, we drew a 1-drop, too. We're not going to be able to buff it anytime soon, but, I'll take it, I guess. I'd like to draw a 4th land a little more, but... So we're going to have a bunch of Magecraft triggers if we ever do draw a spell. Okay. I'm not loving how this looks right now. So So we're just going to play Lorehold Pledge Mage here. So, you know, opponents playing things on turn 2 and 3, especially Biomathematician, is a pretty good way to counter us. Nice! They just drew 3 off of that. It probably is the best card in the set for constructed Luminancer. I mean, you know, if I had to guess, and I do have to, because I'm not psychic, you know. Okay, so... Okay, well. We can wreak all kinds of havoc now with this hand. So I think we attack and hold up Lash of Malice. I could also just Lash of Malice and attack, like kill the Apprentice and attack them. Could also play Combat Professor, but I think Lash of Malice on Quandrix's Apprentice is pretty good. Yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. And question is, what do I want to attack with now? I definitely attack with Pledge Mage. I'm less certain I want to attack with the others, but although the Luminancer is kind of unlikely, like the way our hand looks, finding a way to pump it more just isn't that likely. So I think if they double block it, we're okay with it. But let's just attack with the first tier too. They can only kill one of these in combat, so whichever one they kill, I think I can live with. Yeah. Alright, Combat Professor is kind of tempting here because it can actually do damage this turn, but I think just using all our mana to cast our Shield Mage is fine. So, yeah. Flyers are looking good against Biomathematician. So they do have to pay 3 to tap our Shield Mage. So the value we get there is actually pretty nice, given the situation. Okay. Well, I think we play our Combat Professor. Not like that, though. I think we play our Combat Professor. Then I think we use Guiding Voice on our Combat Professor. Yeah. And do I want removal or more flyers? We don't currently have any removal, so I think grabbing Necrotic Fumes makes some sense. Then we'll do this. And attack. So if they want to double block, let them do it, you know. Or if they want to take 3, let them do that too. The Luminancer is about to be pretty expendable, so Necrotic Fumes and sacking it doesn't seem too bad. Ooh, that's gross. Okay, so this is going to be a big swing for them. We do still get the value out of Combat Professor here to give this Vigilance, which will feel pretty good, I think. Okay, so we can now play everything in our hand if we want to. Right? 4, 5, 6. No, because Necrotic Fumes needs double black. Alright, so we're going to go to combat. We're going to give this +1, +0. We're going to attack them. Then we're going to play Eye Twitch and Lorehold Pledge Mage. So if they do have a way to... Like, if they have another Snow Day, that's not going to be enough to kill us, basically. There's an Amplimancer. Alright, so I think we try to just kill their flyer here and attack them for lethal. There's a chance they have a way to save themselves, but I'm not super worried about it. So, yeah, we go Necrotic Fumes. Target their Frost Trickster. And exile our Luminancer. So, I think we give the Shield Mage the Vigilance because if they have removal, they have to pay life to get that blocker out of the way. Okay, well, we got there again. So, we've definitely been fun policing it. Although that deck wasn't actually that dirtly, I guess. We just sort of out-aggroed them. They were kind of aggressive, too. At least with the draw that they got. Thank you for the sub, Allegris. Alright, this seems fine. We kind of, you know, want a third land, but... Even a fourth land. But, we can do enough with 2 lands, and we're on the draw. Of course, if we continue to not draw real cards, we're going to be in trouble. Well, that's not great. We do at least have a 2-drop, though. So we pretty much need to hit that third land now. At least we drew a Doomblade, I guess, too. I mean, of all the things to draw that isn't a land, a Doomblade isn't bad. Of course, when they play Moldering Karok, it feels pretty bad, doesn't it? Yeah, so let's play our Spellbinder here. Get a look at what's going on over there. Boy, okay, there's some stuff, huh? So I think we probably hit the Onslaught. Yeah. Because what we're going to try to do is attack them in the air, and most of this stuff doesn't stop that anytime soon. Although, I guess they're only a couple mana away from Rise of Extus, but we definitely go for the Onslaught there. So, you know, Lifelink is really annoying here, especially because our poor Doomblade can't deal with this creature. We've been pretty lucky on the day that we've been playing against opponents who do have things we can Doomblade against, but... Yeah, that Harness Infinity could be pretty scary. It does take a while to get there, but let's hope they don't. Yeah, so we're just going to take 3. Okay, 4th land. I like it. Play our Combat Professor. Who do I want to make into... Who do I want to give Vigilance to, basically, is what I'm trying to say. The problem is, with Lifelink around, they can outrace us. So, putting it on the Apprentice is kind of tempting. But, just because then it would give me... I can attack with everything, but the fact that they can swing back with the Karok makes that a little less than ideal. We really desperately need a 5th land, too, to play all the other stuff in our hand, so... Trying to decide if I'd rather just... Yeah, I mean, I think we go for it with the... Yeah, we'll put the pump there, and then just attack with these 3. I can live with that. I really wish they couldn't gain life. that Karok, that is a good way of countering aggressive decks in this format too, is lifelink, which kind of means black-green can be a rough matchup. Yeah, so I could consider a double block on the Karok. We know most of what they have. I would lose my Combat Professor, but I kind of feel like getting rid of the lifelinker is worth it. Yeah. We're gonna do it. We just can't afford to let them keep gaining life, basically. Okay. Kind of think I Doomblade the Professor of Zoomancy here. I don't need to do it. Let's attack with all of them. So we can use our trick defensively here, and that's probably what we'll do. Sorry, buddy. So that turn right there may have been what gets us there. I'm gonna Doomblade the Professor. I would get one more power on my turn, but if I just draw a 5th land to play one of these, I'd rather do that anyway, so. Alright, we got a 5th land. So, I guess we'd rather play Shield Mage here. Yeah, we can't get anything back with our Rescuer anyway. So, we'll attack with everything. They might block with their Pest, I guess. Yeah, so this is where Owlin Shield Mage is nasty. So they could kill it, but I was going to say, they have to go to 1 and it won't be enough. That Spellbinder, that game, I mean, first of all, it let us get rid of a removal spell for a long time, and second of all, it let us be well aware of what they had so we could play with our Hexproof trick up, which just completely broke them. Yeah, countering Rise of Extus is pretty backbreaking. I mean, it costs 6, and they got nothing out of it. I mean, we traded 1 for 1, but the tempo is insane. So yeah, they don't get to learn. All right, pretty good hand. Another hand that could potentially just curve out and be really good. I've yet to play one of these. I mean, if you need fixing, it's not a bad way to go. I just haven't done it myself yet. So we're going to get a pretty good, at least first 4 turns, even if we don't draw a 5th land here. My Pledge Mage might be dead, but that's kind of fine with us, to be honest. That's what we wish we had right there. Yeah, so we go with Combat Professor here. I think we probably just buff the Pledge Mage. Actually, the Pledge Mage would die in combat, but... And so would the Spirit. Yeah, the Spirit's the least useful, like, as a blocker and stuff, and if they want to trade their Laureate, I'm okay with it. If I attack with... Oh, I'm stupid. Pumping the Pledge Mage was the right thing to do. Yeah, I messed that up. We're just going to attack with our Spirit because we're dumb. But if I'd bumped my Pledge Mage, they couldn't have blocked effectively. Which, you know, would have just meant one more damage, but it still would have been a better decision there for sure. Yeah, this Lorehold Pledge Mage is funny because I think it's legitimately better in this deck than it is in the Lorehold deck. Sort of a flavor fail, but, you know. Yeah, that's gross. Okay. Well, the good news is we have a bunch of removal. The bad news is we don't have any of it right now. Alright, so... yeah, I think this time... well, probably makes sense to buff the Stonerise Spirit again, actually. Because I'm just going to attack with both of them. Unfortunately, Doomblade doesn't kill the Laureate, so we don't really want to draw it right now. Again, what I probably should have done there is give my Combat Professor Vigilance. It doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, but it probably was better. Yeah, we've done a good job on hitting our removals so far, especially our Doomblade, so... you know... Doomblade wouldn't kill this, so that's not exactly what we want, but... so, probably play Pillar Drop and get back to Pledge Mage next turn. Then I can play First Year and Pledge Mage the turn after that. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. That's what I have to say. Okay, so I think we definitely lose Stonerise Spirit here. And then we're just going to take the 9 to the face. This opponent feels like they're out aggroing us, which hasn't happened yet. Alright, so we're gonna attack for 6 here. Play Pillar Drop Rescuer. Getting a flyer might be a little better since that Shadewing Laureate is so imposing. But it's probably still the Pledge Mage. It's also a better blocker, which helps. So they might be able to take us down here. Yeah, they chose the pretty aggressive options there, which is concerning, to say the least. Okay. So I think I'm going to trade with Campus Guide with my Rescuer and then just take the hit here. They could have a trick that kills us, but I think I can live with it. I mean... if we decided to double block the Laureate and they have a trick, we get completely blown out. If they have a trick this way, we just lose one thing, and it's not really a complete and utter blowout. So, I think I can live with it. Interesting. Well, now I wish I'd gotten a flyer. Okay. So we're going to buff the shield mage and attack with it, and that's it. In terms of attacks, yeah. So... and then, yeah, play out our hand. Thank you for the follow, Geralin. So their deck is pretty similar to ours, so it's not, I guess, that shocking that they've out-aggroed us a bit. But yeah, we have to block kind of ugly here, most likely. Now that they can give the Laureate flying, I mean, vigilance, it's a pretty big problem. Interesting. So now I have to block both of them, which I guess that makes sense on our opponent's part. Okay, so... you're going to block there to kill that, and you're going to block here. So when this dies, that's going to get a counter. So that's not so good. If I draw a trick and they don't play anything, we might be able to kill them with our 2 ground creatures. Ooh. Does that actually get us there? We haven't grabbed Necrotic... oh, if I use Necrotic Fumes, though, I have to sack a creature. So... it doesn't get us there, but we can at least get Inkling Summoning. We're going to go to, like, 1 here. Yeah, I think we're probably dead. Unfortunately for us. So, yeah, make our Pledge Mage... yeah, so with Necrotic Fumes, I'd have to sacrifice something. And I would only get to 6, so I have to grab Inkling Summoning so that I can block. Yeah. So, we go to 1. I'll attack them for 5. Oh, actually, they do have to block to not die. Oh, no, they don't. No, they don't. Just kidding. We just attack with 1. Yeah. I guess this is a little harder for them to kill. So maybe it's better to attack with the first year. They are forced to block 1 of my guys, but I don't think that's quite enough. Maybe it was. Yeah, that was my first instinct, and then somehow I talked myself out of it. So I probably should have gone for it there. If I had Mage Hunter would be dead. You know, we would still be dead to a whole lot of stuff, but if the Mage Hunter were dead, drawing a spell wouldn't mean game over for us. So that was probably a punt. Yeah, I am going to be chumping with it now. But I definitely should have attacked. See if that ends up biting us or not. Being at 1 is brutal, because now even if we draw removal, we're dead. There's not really anything that can save us that won't also kill us. Oh, God. Yeah, so we're dead. I think we would have been dead either way, so it's not a punt that really lost us the game, but you know, yeah. Oh, nice. They were just going to be... Yeah, we definitely would have still lost, but it was still a suboptimal play for sure. All right, let's see if we can... We had our first loss after a 5-0 start. Let's see if we can rebound. Pretty good hand. It's a little less curve-outy than some of our others. We don't have a 3-drop, for example, but it's still pretty good, I think. Combat Professor makes a lot of hands nice. Okay. Well, Beaming Defiance could be useful. I think I do attack first here. See if they do something about it. Right, now we'll play the Spellbinder. So we did get a 3-drop, but we also really need a 4th land at some point in the near future, so hopefully we can get hooked up with that. They could counter this, I guess. Oh, so definitely go after the Inspiration here. So this hand's looking pretty good for us. I mean, their hand is filled with lands, primarily. They are going to be able to Igneous Inspiration, like, next turn. But we do really need to draw a 4th land. If we draw a 4th land here, I'm going to feel pretty great about stuff. If we don't draw a 4th land here, we're going to be in a bit of trouble. We did not draw a 4th land. However, at least we drew a creature that we can play. And we still have Beaming Defiance, which you can use to counter the Igneous Inspiration, which is pretty gross. It's probably the route we'll take. They have Shock or Lightning Bolt here. That would be mean. Yeah, so play out our Luminancer. And we don't even have to go out of our way to leave up Beaming Defiance here, so that's kind of nice at least. Countering Igneous Inspiration is pretty gross. Especially if they pay the 5 for it. We'll see. They could have other, you know, we don't know what these 2 cards are, so they could be real cards. Alright. So we get to do this again, which is pretty messed up. Save our Spellbinder from the spell it exiled. They do have an attack here that they'll probably take. I think I'd take it anyway. Nice. We needed that 4th land so that we could start adding to our aerial damage here. It's funny their name is Trick Fizzle, because we played a trick and it fizzled their spell. It's kind of funny. I think we probably just go ahead and play Dueling Coach in our first main phase here. We don't have anything to get back. I guess we could attack and then consider playing Pillar Drop Rescuer, but I think adding another power to the board seems fine here. Yeah, so let's play our dueling coach. Try to, anyway. Put the counter... I think I'm going to put it on the spirit, so we're spreading out the damage a little bit. Plus, if they have a kill spell in response, it won't hurt as bad if they kill our spirit, so... Yeah, so let's buff the combat professor here. Right down to 2 they go. I guess we'll play this swamp. Right, we got there. That was more like our other games. All right. See if we get to 7 wins. I actually haven't done it yet in this format. I have lots of 5s and 1 6. But no 7s. 7 would be nice. We have 2 chances at it, so... So, this deck ended up being a little better than I expected. I mean, I did think it was going to have potential as sort of a fun police deck, but it has definitely... You know, Silver Quill aggro has sort of proven itself to me even more than I expected. You know, it's anecdotal, of course, but yeah, it has been pretty good overall. Turns out just curving out and playing a bunch of flyers, plus drawing our Spellbinder almost every game, that helped too. It's definitely our best card. Those things have really helped us out here. So, yeah, I guess we play Silver Quill here and pass. Silver Quill Apprentice, that is. I wish I had the dragon. Silver Quill. Okay. You have a bunch of study breaks. So we take 4 here. Evening cheesecake. Gross. That's not so good. Playing a scary 3-drop, 4-drop like that. I don't like it. Let's play our Spellbinder here. See what we can get. So if we hit Pest Summoning, they could cast it next turn. But, yeah, I guess we just hit the Pledge Mage here. Attack them for 1. So these double study breaks could be what sways the race in our favor. The only awkward thing about them is we kind of want these triggers, so we kind of need to use them on our turn. And they're not going to be nearly as good on our own turn. Alright, so we're just going to take the 9 here. Yeah. Oh, good. We managed to beat Mascot Exhibition in an earlier draft, but I kind of doubt we're going to accomplish it again here. I think we are going to use Study Break here aggressively. Seems worth it. We don't really have much else we can do anyway, so... Let's play Eye Twitch. Study Break. Tap these 2. Yeah, I guess we'll buff a flyer. And then... I guess Necrotic Fumes doesn't seem bad, but it's also not great against, like, Mascot Exhibition. So this stupid guy has Trample, which is not good for us. I think we might just be dead. I probably should have used Study Break more defensively. It probably gave us more of a chance, and it's not like the buff would be irrelevant, so... Yeah. Probably not the best decision. Uh-oh. That is a scary land. They decided not to double that, huh? Oh, does that just kill me now? Is that why they did it that way? You go there. 6, 7. Yeah, I think that's probably just lethal. Not quite. Not quite. I think maybe getting environmental sciences and planning on using Study Break on their turn is our best bet here. The life gain matters. Yeah, so we're going to use environmental sciences and grab a plains. That should keep us alive for one more turn. Of course, they still have Mascot Exhibition, so even if we find a way out of this situation we're in right now, we're still in some serious trouble. So we're going to Study Break. They're going to Mascot Exhibition in their next main phase, so that'll be fun. So, I think I block one of them and just take... Never mind. Well, I kind of think taking 2 is our best bet, but... They can't Mascot Exhibition now. Yeah. I just have to hope I draw, like, Doomblade, basically. And even then, I won't really be able to win. But yeah, we're just going to take the 2 here. Yeah. They got us. They got us. What Lorehold class would I teach? I don't know. Probably some cultural or religious history class. Seems like a lot of them are into military history, you know. Alright, so this will be our last game with this deck one way or another. Okay, pretty good. I haven't actually cast this yet. Well, I would like more white mana. So if they do kill our Eye Twitch, that's definitely what we're going to go for. The environmental sciences, that is. Okay, we drew it anyway, which is nice. Okay, so I think we attack here. If they like play a Befuddler or something, I would probably use... I wouldn't need to use Vanishing Verse, actually. We're in pretty good shape in this game, as long as they play a monocolored creature anyway. You know, this next turn we'll probably be able to kill whatever they play and then swing out again and maybe draw a 5th land for a Shield Mage. That would be really good. It's kind of tempting to wait until my turn to Vanishing Verse if we're given the option, but I think that's probably unwise. Oh man, that's like the best possible thing to cast Vanishing Verse on. They do get to learn, which is unfortunate for us. But I think that's probably okay. Fractal Summoning, okay. Pass to combat. Pass to attackers. Vanishing Verse. So, we do potentially miss out on, like, 2 damage here. But, yeah. If we draw a 5th land, and we did, we would have really regretted waiting until our turn, I think. Alright. Okay, well... It wouldn't actually be the perfect answer to Gnarled Professor because I still would have gotten to learn. I mean, I guess I still got to learn there too, but... So that deck pretty much lived up to the Silver Quill theme of aggro. We did a good job beating a bunch of dirtily decks, and we got to 7 wins.